Cloud. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. We are going to all learn from one another. I'm going to make sure that this is really interactive, so you're not just learning from me. And I just want to say thank you so much for being here, not just for me, but for yourself. Oh, we have someone from Trinidad. Amazing. So the reason why I wanted to ask where everyone is from, because I think it's just really important to know that we're all in the same place. You know, we're working on making sure that we're getting our shit together, and it's better to do it together than just alone. So let's move on to the next one. So let's celebrate the shit that has already been done. So if you look at the left-hand side, someone said she's so pumped. It's amazing to be supportive and proud of other people's accomplishments instead of jealous of their success. And ladies, I want you to be completely honest. Before even working on yourself, whether it's your business or your career or just being courageous enough to work on yourself, have any of you ever felt jealous of someone? If this is a yes, say yes. But I know for me, prior to starting my business before 10 months ago, Kyra, absolutely. Yeah, yes, Brittany. So I know 10 months ago, before I started my business, I used to see posts from all these other women talking about their dreams, and I rolled my eyes and gave the side glare. And as soon as I started working on it, I was like, fuck, this shit's hard. And if you agree that it is hard to work on your dreams, say, yes, it is hard to work on my dreams. But it's amazing when you build a community. Hey, Helena, thank you for joining us. Diana, yes, it is hard to work on your dreams. And so in the middle right here, where it says, just want to share with you, I just got a 10K raise. This isn't even a client of mine, but during the Get Shit Done challenge, she got a 10K raise and possibly could be getting another 2K or 3K. And then the other half here on the right-hand side, someone just said, yeah, I'm no longer a pushover. Now I could express myself. So just know that just working on yourself this past week won't stop here. Like if you just do all of this, you could continue on. Helena, yes, it's hard, but that's what we're doing, and dreams are worth fighting for. So if you guys agree with Helena where she said dreams are worth fighting for, just say hell yes. Okay, awesome. So hell yes, Brittany. So I want to start with this quote. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you're at. Now, who is here because you don't want to stay where you're at? And if you're here because you want to change something about yourself, just reply back, I'm here in the chat box, just so I know. Oh, Kayla, you raised your hand. I'm here. Brittany, yes, I'm here. Grace, I'm here. Kyra, I'm here. And that's amazing. Monique, I'm here. And I want all of you, Kimberly, thank you. I'm here too. I want all of you to know that I'm not just here to teach something to you. I also want to learn from all of you as well. So please engage and ask questions in the chat box. And also know you're not alone. Denisha, yes, I'm here. Diana, I'm here. Awesome. So I just want to say congratulations. You're getting shit done already by showing up here. And the two hardest things in life is one, being self-aware, two, taking action to create change. So I know Helena is a good friend of mine. She's a mastermind sister of mine. And I talked to her on Friday and I was like, fuck, like I'm just gonna be really real and honest with all of you. But just wondering, any recovering perfectionists or control freaks that are in this chat, let me know. But I am a recovering perfectionist and control freak. And I was like, oh, Helena, my hands are both up. Yes, me too. I was like, fuck, it's showing up. And just so all of you know, I actually went to therapy about 2 years ago dealing with like, oh, I've just been attracting the same guy. And then I realized like it was showing up again in my life. And I was like, shit, I thought I fixed this. And what that lesson actually taught me was you can't fix yourself. I mean, the reality is that there's just certain trigger points, and when you're being self-aware, you need to go change. So I'm actually going to therapy on Wednesday to see my psychologist who I haven't seen in a while. So the reason why I want to share this with you is because I acknowledge that you're here to do work for yourself. You're being self-aware. You're taking action to create change. And so you need to congratulate yourself for doing this. So thank you for being here. Not for me, but for you. So I just want to emphasize, if this is not for you, if you're comfortable and don't want to create changes, and that's why I started that quote, because I know you're here to create those changes. You create excuses and no action, and I hope there's no one here that's like that. You're not ready to step up and create change, and you're going to wait until next year to make changes. But I'm pretty sure all of you want to make changes now. That's why you're here. So if you are, I just want to hear, like, yes, I am. I'm an action taker. I know all of your action takers in this truth box, in this truth box, in this webinar. You're so over your bullshit excuses. You will create change now. I'm so over my bullshit excuses. You know you deserve better. So who here knows they deserve better? They're committed to taking action. Say yes. And you understand that success comes to those who get ahead of the game and ask for help. And so that's why I want to start it off, where I'm like, I actually am deciding to go back to therapy because I need help. So I see Grace, Kayla, Kimberly, Diana, Kyra saying yes to this. And if this is a yes, then I want you to say yes, girl, yes, specifically. Comment in the box saying yes, girl, yes. So what we're going to cover today is 8 epic breakthroughs to make 2018 yours and have an extra. Okay, I see a lot of yes, girl, yes. I don't know if I could pronounce that correctly. So I have an extra kick-ass bonus at the end, and just make sure to stay. So I promise I'm going to give you so much value. You'll leave understanding how you can implement action now, not later, but now. And you'll leave more confident and inspired with clear actions. You'll leave to understand how to break down each goal and make it realistic. And I'll provide you breakthrough for the next 8 months. And I can't believe it's 8 more months until 2018 ends. But make sure you have a pen and paper. I actually do. And I want to say this quote: multitasking is the art of doing many things badly. And ladies, I know we're all here, but who agrees with this, that multitasking is the art of doing many things badly? And my boyfriend will call me out on my shit. Grace, you're raising your hand. Awesome. Who else agrees with this statement? Because I know I would brag about it, but then I'm on the phone with my, Kayla raised her hand too. I would be on the phone with my boyfriend. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just like washing the dishes. It's like, can you give me attention? I'm like, well, I mean, I could talk to you. And I just realized I need to give him attention. So just know it's really important to focus on one thing. So just do this for yourself. I want to know, what is your attention? What is your goal that you want to take away from this? So if you could write in the box, I just want to know. So who am I? Well, I'm a global career and service coach. I've negotiated my salary twice, making $38K in 1 year. I transitioned into a new career, not using the black hole of the internet. And it's the same thing in terms of how I built my business as well, just creating it organically without Facebook ads. Kayla, having the self-confidence to realize I can make these changes and take control of my life. Yes, you can, girlfriend. Helena, how I can organically book more clients. You have an amazing list. Like, there's so much you could do, and we could talk more about that. So third is, I've successfully launched a global business. Oh, within 10 months, I need to update that. Also, I just want to share, I've gone through shit too. I've been fired 3 times. I've quit twice. I've had 25 different jobs under the age of 30, and this is probably why I have my own business. And I'm just curious, Brittany, how I can get my niche market. Awesome. I'm curious, how many of you in here feel like you cannot be someone, you can't work for someone else? You have to be your own boss? If this is a yes for you, say yes. Where you know you just have to be your own boss? I would say a lot of yeses already. Yes, I have to be on my own boss. Grace, yep. Denisha, how to book high-paying clients. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I can't work for anyone. I could be friends with them, but can't work with anyone. And also, I have ended toxic relationships and learned how to create boundaries and say no. And I know that's really hard for you to believe, but like, I used to be bullied. I was bullied not only as a teenager, but also when I was in the workforce, not just with coworkers, but even a boss. I had a boss who used to yell at me in front of other people. And that was just a horrible experience. And I'm just curious, because I'm sharing my vulnerability, if anyone's willing to share if they've been bullied before, because it's not cool. And I didn't think it was bullying when I was a kid. I have been bullied pretty much most of my career. Okay, girlfriend. So I just want all of you ladies to know I have scripts in terms of how to talk to people when you have difficult conversations with people if they think you're a pushover. So thank you for sharing that, Kimberly. I really appreciate you being vulnerable. But granted, I always worked for Japanese companies. Helen, I was bullied and had low self-esteem, and now I've taken that and used it to write my story and help inspire others. Kimberly, and this is totally normal. So I just want to mention Helena, who is in this group. She is one of my mastermind sisters, but she took what she ended up being bullied and she wrote her own book about it and has been featured. Where have you been featured? Just type it up. Like, I forget. I know you've been in CNN, and just brag about yourself so we can all learn. Like I said, I want everyone to learn and be inspired from one another as well. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. I'm just gonna keep doing this where I'm reading the slides and I'm also going back to you guys. Helena, CNN, BBC, CBS, newspapers, Irish Times, and podcasts. So the reason why I want to talk about Helena is, like, you know, she was bullied. She had eating disorders and she shared her vulnerable stories. And I know a lot of you follow me as well on Facebook and Instagram. And it's not necessarily sharing, but just know that whatever shit you've gone through, and the shit will continue to happen because the reality is that's how life is that it comes to us. And it's like, what can we learn from it, right? So in the last 10 months, I've worked with paying clients one-on-one within 2 weeks of my business organically, spending $0 on Facebook and Instagram ads. I have clients in 14 different countries, including Lebanon, Singapore, the UK, Iceland, Mexico, South Africa. I won't read the whole list. Some of my clients are in this chat box right now, and I'm so grateful that you're here as well, continuing to learn and grow. And I think the biggest thing is, if a family emergency happens, I can be there for my family. And that right there is a picture of my amazing grandma who turned 92. It was her birthday this past Saturday. Unfortunately, in February, we had to go to the Philippines. My grandma was planning to go and something happened, and she had to go into surgery. And it's just really nice to know that I was able to be there for her. And I know a lot of you are here so that you could just make it better for your family, whether you have kids or you have parents, but just thinking about future generations as well. And also, I have spent $30K in my own personal and professional development just in the past 10 months. But that has helped me grow so much into my business and helps me better serve my clients. So actually, not 1 week from today, but this Saturday, I'm going to meet with Selena Sue. She's a marketing expert for entrepreneurs and helps them get into Forbes, Huffington Post, and O Magazine. And some of her clients just include like Lewis Howes, Marie Forleo, and Gabby Bernstein. I'm really excited, not just because it's going to help me in my business, but helps me teach my clients how to be in these big magazines as well. This month, I'm being featured in Pasadena Magazine Women in Business issue. Just so all of you know, just something to learn and take notes of as well is keep in mind who is in your network. But this person I met her at a party. She was associate editor for Pasadena Magazine. She was in my email list. I just consistently would send out content through my email list, probably like once every 2 weeks. And because I was consistent in my content, she reached out to me and she told me, hey, like, do you want to write an article for Pasadena Magazine for the Women in Business issue? And I said, yeah. Oh, so you're going to get paid. I'm like, I'm getting paid for this? And so I want to emphasize that it's really important to continue being visible and consistent. I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs on this list. And I'm just curious, how many of you get too scared if you're being too much for other people? I'm curious if this is a yes for you. Say yes, Kayla. Okay. Anyone else who feels like, shit, I don't want to be annoying to my friends or family members. I don't want to keep posting or sending emails. I know there's Helena, I used to. Anyone else? I want you ladies to be honest with yourself. Kyra, yes. Helena, actually, I still do sometimes. So I was telling this to my group clients. Diana, sometimes I was telling this to my group clients that you have to understand you're being really selfish if you don't share or teach to others. Grace, yeah. But you're doing videos now, so that's awesome, Grace. And yeah, I'll be honest, like I would lose followers, but remind yourself that they're not paying you and they're not the ideal client that you're going to serve. And remember the people that are, right? The people that do comment, the people that are your clients, that you're there for them. And the reality is we're not here to be liked or loved by everyone. And also, third is on June 9th, I'm doing my first free event at Downtown LA Arts District. Who's coming to my event? If you are, just say yes. I'm just curious who's coming. I would love to know. I know some, well, obviously Singapore. Brittany, you're coming. Yay, I'm excited to see you. Diana is actually flying from Mexico to come to this event, so thank you. Kyra, I wish I could. Don't worry, I will be sure to share some content. So why am I qualified? I got 2 signups today. That was a message from a client who I helped after 2 sessions. One client I worked with one-on-one. Now she's working towards getting 5 figures. And in the third one, I have 2 bookings this weekend and one already set up for next weekend. That was after 1 session. So it's completely doable. I want all of you to know that it's possible. So I am all about visualization. So I'm going to tell you to close your eyes, but not take a nap. Yes, I said close your eyes. I could see you. I'm kidding. I can't see you. So I don't know if you're wearing makeup or not. But close your eyes. And I want to set the intention for this webinar. So I want you to think about exactly 1 year from now, where you're at in your business, exactly how much is in your damn bank account, how proud your family and your friends are, where actually they haven't been in the beginning, but they are, and they're bragging about you to everyone, how you know you're fully into your fucking amazing mission. And girl, how you are wearing those heels or tennis shoes, whichever feels comfortable, that you're wearing with that amazing outfit, and how you just did Soul Cycle or yoga or whatever gym class you had, and knowing that 1 week from that day, you are gonna go to an amazing trip that you're able to pay down, like everything, and how you are there just serving your best self to the clients that need you. So I want you to open your eyes and tell me how does, well, not tell me, type to me or type to the whole group how it feels like when you just focus on your most ideal self. How did that feel for all of you? If you could just type in the chat box so I know you're not falling asleep. Empowering. Ooh, so good. Awesome. Emotional and amazing. So even though that's not necessarily steps and strategies, I actually want you to write that down. Like, what did you envision for yourself? What shoes were you wearing? Was it like Nikes, Skechers, or was it like, you know, hot stilettos? I'm serious. Like, just visualize it and write it down, everything you want. And I make sure I journal as well. Just so you know, I have my own journal at the end where I visualize. So this is, so you read it. It says, I'm the fucking boss. So at the end of the evening, like, I actually journal it. And I'll talk more about routines as well. Kimberly, no shoes, barefoot on the beach for me. Awesome. No, well, I would not want you to wear shoes on the beach. So I want to make sure we start with end of mind. If you've read Jack Canfield's like 7 Habits. So my 2018 mission is to help 100 people create their dream job, business, and life. And I am like close to already hitting 50. So I'm like almost halfway in terms of working with clients. And by 2020, I want to help 1 million people create their dream job, business, and life. So I am holding all of you accountable. Write in the box, like, what do you want in 2018 and 2020? You have to do it. Like, I'm asking you guys to type down, what do you want for 2018 and 2020? You could just type in the box. And I know it like lags sometimes. So what's your goal by 2018? How many people do you want to serve? Or if you even want to put how much you want to make, and by 2020, how many people or how much, however specific you want to be. So Helena, I want to raise the levels of self-esteem and self-worth in over 1 million by 2020. I want to make 100K in the next year. Awesome. Thank you for being so specific with how many people by 2020 and how much you want to make. Grace, I want to serve 30 people by end of 2018, and I want to help 200 people by 2020. Brittany, financial independence, 80K in my bank account. Kyra, I want to launch my business in 2018 and 2020. I want to have a book published. What type of book do you want published, Kyra? I want you to chat in the chat box because you never know who might support you. Diana, in 2018, okay, you guys are typing fast, hold on. In 2018, I want to find my dream job and to excel at it. In 2020, I want to create my own business for marketing and public relations for small businesses. Awesome. It's totally doable. Before I had my dream business, I had my dream job. And if it wasn't for that job, I wouldn't have started my business. Kimberly, 2018, I want my website have launched and at least have 10 orders per week and would love to have 50K within my first year of business. What type of business do you have, Kimberly? I'd love to know. Kayla, 2018, developed my own stationery hand lettering. Oh yes, thank you so much. I still haven't heard back from my friend Kayla, so I will get back to you as soon as I hear back. I'll follow up. And Monique, by 2020, I want to be one of the top female CEOs with $2 million companies. 2018, have $1 million companies. Okay, clearly our goals here are not big enough compared to yours. Kimberly, fair trade sourced clothing brand. Awesome. Kara, a book about my journey finding my confidence. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, write it down. I know you typed it, but make sure you write it down. Kimberly, I can't type today. It's okay. Girl, this is not college. I'm not proofreading all of it. Denisha, in 2018, I want to help 20 women start their business and conquer their fear of being visible. Thank you. So it's all about how we start our day. I am just curious, who here wakes up with anxiety and you're just like, fuck, I have so much I need to do today. How the hell am I going to get there? And you're like, I don't want to do this email. I don't want to talk to this person. I don't want to do this, this, and this. Like, I'm just curious, how many of you wake up to anxiety? Okay. Sometimes yes, Brittany, me always. I do, Denisha. So thank you, ladies, for being honest. And I'll be completely honest. This morning, because I wanted to take the weekend off, because it was Mother's Day. I just wanted to enjoy time with my mother and my family, and it was also my grandma's birthday. So I woke up this morning, shit, there's so much to do. Kara, sometimes it doesn't kick in until I get to work, though. And then Diana, sometimes. So I want you all to start with a morning routine. Yes, not always, but definitely get anxiety often. And if you notice, like, before we get into the morning routine, like Olympic athletes, right? I mean, if we had a race we had to do, we have anxiety, like, shit, we have this race, we're about to start. But how Olympic athletes get over their fear is that they use the energy of anxiety and turn it into excitement. Like, yes, I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. If you notice, they have their ritual where they're listening to whoever it is. Maybe it's Britney Spears, Beyonce, Drake, I don't know, whatever it is, where they just have their routine. They're just really pumped using that energy before the race happens. So with the morning routine, you start off your day. So first off, it's listen to a 2018 song. So whatever song really energizes you. So for me, I wake up to Circle of Life by The Lion King because I want to feel like Simba when I wake up. So think about a song you want to wake up to. And if you have an iPhone, it's really easy to set that up. And second, like, what are you grateful for? So saying, what are you grateful for when you're in the morning? So I wake up, Circle of Life. And for me this morning, I said, I'm so grateful and pumped because I get to do a webinar with amazing women around the world. Kayla, Glorious by Macklemore. Oh my God, that is such a great song. Thunder by Imagine Dragons. Thank you for sharing that. And if you guys have songs you recommend, just type away so we could just steal each other's, not steal, borrow and inspire each other's ideas. And I want to read Kimberly's, especially before I sleep, because I am already going through a mental checklist for the next day. Get overwhelmed before it was even started. We'll talk about evening routines as well, Kimberly, just so you know. Grace, your song by Rita Ora. Yes, that is an amazing song too. So third is talking about what is your why. So I think of my why, I talk about all the time, but I think of my family and just, you know, I even have, like, this is my great grandfather. I have a picture of him at my desk. So then when I feel stressed and overwhelmed, like, well, my stress doesn't compare to his shit. Like, he left my grandma when she was 2 and his wife and never saw them again and moved to America and sent money back. And so he's my why because he sacrificed so much. And what do you want? So talking about what I said about 2018 and 2020. So 2018, I want to serve 100 clients. 2020, I want to serve 1 million people. And then dance. Don't worry, I'm not going to be looking at you, but you have to move that energy because if you notice when you have anxiety, you know your blood is flowing fast. So just scientifically, when you just move your body, the anxiety just moves with it. I don't know about a lot of you, but actually this is why I exercise. I don't exercise because I'm an LA girl. I exercise because I have anxiety issues and my body needs to fucking move because I get anxiety. So action. I want you to create your morning routine by answering these questions above, and I know it's a lot of them. So feel free to type if you don't feel comfortable typing in the chat box, I want you to write it down exactly like what is your morning routine that you're going to start doing. Awesome. So evening routine, I believe, okay, song, your song. Thank you, Grace. So evening routine, like I mentioned, in the evening, I read this. So I'm curious, how many of you have a hard time sleeping in the evening because your mind is racing? If this is a yes for you, say yes. Kimberly, me, dear Beyonce. Yes, me. Okay, Diana, Grace, Kimberly said me, Brittany sometimes, Monique, yes. So I know a lot of us are workaholics because we're very passionate about what we want to do or we're ready to move up. But just so you know, scientifically, and one of my best friends, she's a sleep doctor from Stanford, so she yells at my ass all the time. But there's blue light in your computer screen and on your phone screen, and it's the same type of light as the sunlight that happens when you wake up. So just biologically, our bodies wake up like back then with our ancestors because of the blue light that's happening. And that's the same thing with a computer and phone. So you need to actually shut off. And I know some of you are like, no, but I need to write down ideas that I have. And that's completely fine, but don't use electronics. Like I have a book by my bedside. You know, when you just wake up in the middle of the night and have ideas like, shit, I need to write it down. So then just write it down on the book. So what I do is I turn off my electronics. I make sure I put, my phone is not next to my bed. So don't have your phone by your bed. Like my phone is on my desk. Away from my bed, so I actually have to get up. And I do like a Dear God or Dear Universe or Beyonce, whoever you believe in. Maybe it's not Beyonce, maybe it's Britney Spears, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. And what you're grateful for, right? So it could be what you're grateful for today. Like, you know, and I'm really grateful that I learned this thing about today or past or future. And a very powerful exercise is extra credit. Writing a gratitude letter to someone or event who hurt you from the past. And this is actually really powerful. One of my clients, she was sharing a story. We were talking about money blocks, and we could talk more about money if anyone has like a hard time when it comes to the money mindset. But she was talking about how her dad's actually an entrepreneur. And when he gets money, he spends it right away. So with her, it was really hard to ask people or her clients, she does social media marketing, for money. And she was just really frustrated with her dad. She doesn't have a good relationship. And she realized the money block came from him because whenever he gets money, he spends it right away. And she doesn't want to do the same thing. She just wants to keep all the money to herself. So an exercise I told her was like, actually, that's what it is. It's your relationship with your dad. So it's up to you to do it. And I told her, write a letter to your dad of everything you're grateful for. So using positive energy. And then I challenged her, and this is what I always do with my clients. I was like, and if you feel like comfortable enough, go to him and give him that letter. You don't have to, but just do it. So she gave that letter to him. And that week, she actually ended up making $3K. Like she was able to get in clients because you have to acknowledge that things in the past or even like personally will show up in your business or in your career. Like this is just the hard truth. And if you're not facing it and if you're not working on it, it is going to show up. So kind of think about that and marinate it. And let's say there was an event and situation where you're like, hell fucking no, I'm not going to go to that person or that event. That's completely fine. You don't have to. So what I would recommend you do instead, write that letter and literally either rip it up or burn it. I'm serious, because it's just the act of ripping it or the act of burning it or throwing it away. But like, okay, I could move past it. So I've also done this as well. When it came to something with my dad, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so frustrated with him. And then I talked to him and we were both crying and realized like, oh my God, like this was a powerful exercise. And it actually helped my business that month too, which was weird. So, Grace, cleansing and releasing routine. We can burn the letter as well. Yeah, you could definitely burn the letter. My friend, she is an entrepreneur. She calls it the bullshit bonfire. So get like, I don't know, just go to the beach or do something, fire it up. And if you're in California, do not do it in a mountain. We do not want any more wildfires here. But yes, it's just really good to cleanse out the past and let go of it. So action, finding a journal to write on that is dedicated to this. So I want to make sure all of you are committed to finding, yes, pen to paper, like a handwritten journal, not Tumblr, not typing it on Google Doc, but like literally a handwritten like journal where you could start writing things and reflecting, because it's not just the day-to-day grind. Like you need to be able to reflect back as well on how your day went or in the past. Kayla, I love new journals. TJ Maxx, I'm coming. Awesome. I'm so glad. I should be sponsored by TJ Maxx. So vibing with your tribe. I am curious, ladies, how many of you have problems asking for help? If this is a yes for you, type in yes. Felicia and Kayla both said, raise their hands up. Diana, Grace, Helena, yes. Danisha, yes. Okay. Thank you, ladies, for being honest. I was scared to also ask for help, and let me explain the story. So how many of you have that one girlfriend where whenever you see her, you're having happy hour, and she's complaining about the same guy or the same job, and you're just like, oh, I keep telling you, you need to leave. Oh my God, yes. Okay, so you do have that one girlfriend. Helena, oh my God, I just left a lunch from this. Grace, yes. So I know that when we ask for help, we don't want to be that same girl where it's like, oh, well, I don't want to be a burden, right? But ladies, I'm going to remind you, you're here because you're seeking solution. So when you're asking yourself, like, I don't want to be a burden and ask for help, know that your intention is coming with, no, I'm seeking a solution. So you're not being a burden. If you're not taking action, you're clearly taking action because you're showing up here. So be brave and ask for help. Right, that's why all of you are here. So I hope that just change your perspective on it. And you just never know what's going to come out of it, right? Like I remember talking to someone who was a possible client of mine, right? And I was like, shit, she has her dream career. But you know what I'm going to ask? Like, so just out of curiosity, like, would you want to work with me? And she's like, no, but I have a friend that might be interested in your services. So she introduced me to her friend. And then I asked her friend, and she ended up being a client of mine. So the reason why I say that is because so many times as entrepreneurs, a lot of us have issues of asking for help, but you need to ask for help. And that's not just being an entrepreneur, but that's also, I know a lot, I'm just curious, how many of you are still working too? Like on top of having your business, you're still working, or you're just working? If this is a yes for you, say yes. But Kimberly, yes, Brittany. So even in work too, it's also asking for help, like asking for that raise. You have to ask yourself, like, what is the worst case scenario or situation that can happen from this? Kara, yes, but I went down to part-time. Congrats. Yes, I'm still at my 9 to 5. Or even asking, like, let's say you do want to have more time working on your business, or you want more time because you want to look for a new job. Like, then you could ask by delegating it, by delegating your task as well. And being able to give that to other people. So never be too scared to ask for help. And just even personally too, like I've been telling myself how I've been wanting to get a house cleaner, and it wasn't until last month when I finally got one. And sure, I had to pay for it, but you don't even have to just think about your business or work, but think about personal things. I even have a friend who drops off her laundry so it could be washed and folded, and she doesn't have to stress about that. So think about that as well. So I want you to also know, who do you know who has done what you want? Like, do you have any friends? Oh, sorry, let me go back. Do you have any friends who has done what you want? And not just business, but let's say you want to get back to your weight before you gave birth, if there's any moms out there. So like losing weight, or maybe you want to start a business or whatever it is. Like think about, who do you know who has done it before? And it doesn't have to be the exact thing, but just helps you think about it as well. So you want to remember, you are not a burden when you're seeking for advice. You're a burden when you're complaining. And I know there's no one in here that's complaining, because you're here showing up for yourself. So I want you to list 3 people you could talk to. And if you feel comfortable enough, like write it down, like who are 3 people you could talk to into the chat box that you know of. And maybe it could be here too, but 3 people that you could talk to, because it's just really important to create a community. Like that was my biggest lesson. Like I can't do this by myself. That's why I actually hired a coach. I paid for being part of a mastermind group, or even have certain friends that I could go to for advice as well. So for those that have a business, I want you to think about who is your ideal client and checklist. So I always talk about this. First is I want a community that is heart-led. That's who I want to work with. Second is a committed action taker. And third, believes in community over competition. Grace, my boyfriend, Kimberly from Society, and the primary school friend who's an entrepreneur. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So I want you to list 3 people that you could talk to who is in your ideal client checklist, because you could just ask them questions, and I will list down the questions that you could ask them, and it's what I teach my clients. But when you think about who is in your ideal client, like, you should always do target market research, like asking questions. So I always teach this to my clients, like, ask, what are your top challenges when it comes to this? So maybe you're a health coach. It's like, what are your top challenges when it comes to your health? Kyra, my best friend, my mom, and my coach. Awesome. Diana, Meredith, and my husband, and another friend that keeps me on track. Awesome. And just so you know, it doesn't have to be someone you hire, like, be your friends as well. Like I told you, I have one of my best friends is a sleep doctor, so I have her yell at me to make sure I'm sleeping. Or Helena, who's in the group, that yells at me to make sure I'm sleeping as well. So I know this was the most popular part in the last webinar, but this is dealing with loved ones when we are changing. And I'm just curious, how many of you have this struggle when you're completely aligned to where you're at of how to talk to other people, and you hear those backhanded comments or compliments? If this is a yes for you, type yes in the chat box. I see hands. Felicia, Kayla, anyone else that has feel this? Grace, yes. So I'm going to teach you quotes, word-to-word scripts that you could use. Monique, yes. So when you're proclaiming the new you, right, and people are wondering, like your parents, of what they want, letting them know, like, you know, this is my goal and I just want you to emotionally support me. Because sometimes family members or friends or even loved ones think that, oh, she probably needs money from me. But instead, just know that it's just supporting. So saying, this is my goal, I would like you to emotionally support me. Another quote is, Helena, I refrain from talking about it with certain friends, but very grateful for my supportive family. Awesome. So I want to emphasize that, like, be picky who you talk to about your dreams. I used to resent and be really upset. I don't know if any of you could relate to this, but I would put posts about my boyfriend, and then all of my friends that I've known for a long time would like that, but anything about my business they wouldn't like or comment. How many of you have related to that? It would be really frustrating. Helena, I so relate. Kayla, what about the you should have a backup plan in case this doesn't work comment? That is good. So I want to ask, like, has anyone had that same response that Kayla said? You should have a backup plan in case this doesn't work. Has anyone had that comment from people? If this is a yes, Kimberly, yes. Thank you for sharing that, by the way, Kayla. So it's so uncomfortable when you break out. Yes. So I just want to say that because I know a lot of us have been through it before. So to answer your question, you should have a backup plan in case this doesn't work comment. Just say, you could just respond. And I use a thank you sandwich, by the way. I say, you know, thank you. And just so you know, when it comes to friends or family members or even our partners, I'm going to talk about just where they come from. So with our parents, just know I've talked to my clients about this too. Our parents want to protect us, you know, as a mother or father, right? They want to protect us. So anything that seems foreign to them, like, why are you leaving your job to go to this other job? Or why do you want to get a raise? Or why do you want to start a business? To them, that's like conflict. And so your parents want to protect you, so know that it's coming out of love. So what I do sometimes I tell my parents, like, I love you. Well, at the same time, I'm going to do this. Or I acknowledge that you love and care about me, but I'm going to do this. So knowing that what they're saying is out of love. And even, so I hope that's really helpful. So letting them know, hey, thank you for being concerned about. At the same time, I still plan to do this. And I know that given the steps and strategies, I'll get to where I'm at. And that's it. And then if they talk back, like, okay, thanks for your feedback. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. Brittany, when I post on my personal IG about my business, it gets very little likes, but my selfies get so many. It's frustrating. And just know that there are people that resonate with that message, Brittany, and there isn't so much with other people. So focus on the people that it is there to serve and not the people that it doesn't. So who has how many? I'm just curious. How many of you get feedback from other people where they're like, they give you advice, but they don't know what you're doing? Like they give you advice on how to run their business, but they don't even run a business themselves or even do a service. If this is a yes for you, say yes. Kayla, I see a yes for you. I'm just curious if any of you have felt that way. Denisha, yes. Helena, my mom, yeah. My parents always ask me like, so how much money did you make? I'm like, I'm not here for money, Mom. I mean, it's just a side effect. I'm here to serve, and she just doesn't get it. So this is a great script to use, but thank you for your feedback. Well, at the same time, I plan to do this. So like I said, doing the thank you sandwich. And just know whatever they're saying has to do with their limited beliefs and not yours. So I hope that resonates with all of you. Dealing with loved ones when you are changing. So when someone is being offensive, like they're giving you comments, just say thank you for your opinion. That's it. Like you don't have to go beyond that. So just saying it. And this is what I talked about partners and parents. I love you and I made this decision. So letting them know that you acknowledge that it comes out of love and that you've already made this decision. And so I want to talk about partners. So by the way, ladies, I know that you're not talking. So how many, like if this is a yes for you, type in yes, but have you had difficult conversations with your partners when it comes to about your business? And it's a difficult conversation? Yes. Grace, oh my God, yes. I see Monique saying yes. Where they say something and you're just like, ugh, what? Monique, 100%. So I want to emphasize, not just with your business, but even with your job, that so there's masculine and feminine energy, right? And I know I've talked to this with some of you here, that with masculine energy, they want to protect you, they want to provide for you. So when they see something like a foreign object, like, you know, deciding to leave a job or ask for a raise or go for business, it's something that's different for them and they want to protect you. I know some of you even have coaches, but it's like, why would you spend money on a coach? Because unfortunately they think like, oh, I can't provide for you, I can't be there for you. So letting them know ahead of time when they give you those comments saying like, I love you and I've made this decision. Helena, oh my gosh, yes, love researching masculine, feminine. Yeah, so just know it's not you. It's not that they don't believe in you. It's just there is this masculine, feminine energy, and for them, they want to protect and provide. And so when you seek elsewhere, like being in this webinar maybe, right? Or just seeking for advice or reading books, they don't feel like they're sufficient enough. And so reminding them like, hey, I love you. I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about our future. And that's why I want to have this, I want to go to this next level. Grace, so true, ego and protection mode. So like I said, acknowledging that. Like I say, I know you care about me. I know you want to provide for me or protect me. While at the same time, like I'm doing this and I'm thinking about us and our future. So I hope all of you found that helpful. So I want to know from all the quotes, like which statement will you start using so you could start owning your power? Is it one? So put down what quote you're going to start using in your life. Is it one, when proclaiming the new you, this is my goal and I would like you to emotionally support me? Or two, when receiving criticism, thank you for your feedback, while at the same time I plan to do this. Or three, when someone is offensive, thank you for your opinion. Or four, dealing with parents and partners, I love you and I made this decision. So I see 1 and 2. So I'm holding you guys accountable and I'm like taking notes right now. What are you going to start doing? So I see Monique saying 4. Brittany is 1. Anything else, ladies? Okay, awesome. So like I said, Diana, 1. It's about them, not you. When you're finally living in alignment to your authentic self because you are giving yourself permission. Okay, thank you. 4. All right, I'm writing this down, ladies. Okay, Let me finish the sentence. So when you're finally living in alignment to your authentic self, because you are giving yourself permission, it makes others who are not in self-alignment uneasy because you're reminding them of things they need to work on. How many of you could relate to this quote? I'm just curious. Kayla, yes to authenticity. And here's the reason why is because I know for me, going into my business, which has been interesting, people that I've known for a long time have felt very uneasy and very uncomfortable. Even before my business, even like when I transitioned, because I used to do political fundraising, and then I transitioned to do nonprofit fundraising, and that was my dream job. People would say backhanded comments like, oh, who do you think you are? It's because you couldn't survive in this industry. That's why you're moving to this new thing. And I realized it's because you were them. Do you know what I mean? And you're changing. And it's like, wait, I've known this person since I was 5. Who does she think she is that she's going after her dreams? Why can't I go after it? So what you're doing is giving them a mirror of like, I'm just paying attention to my bullshit excuses and I can't be like Diana, Grace, Helena. Does that resonate with you? If this is a yes, say yes. Exactly. So it's not about you. It's about them. And I remember before I became very visible online, I was really scared to hurt people. Like, oh, I just don't want to offend anyone that I'm going after my dreams and they're not. But I just had to get over it and realize, but I'm here to serve my clients. Like, even not my clients, I actually got a message from an old college friend who told me I left a career I completely hated because I've been following the Fierce Gen Tribe Facebook group, and now I'm doing what I love. So I wanted to share that with all of you because you never know whose life you're going to be changing and inspiring as well. And those people might turn back to you. So I shared this story on social media, and my mom didn't support me in my business. Sometimes she still asks me. And she actually, when I decided to invest in my first business coach, it was like a 10K. And she looked at me straight in the eye and said, are you doing this to show off? Like, I don't want you to do this to show off or do this because you need to do this for your family. And then I looked at her and I was completely crying. Not because I was mad at her, because like I said, I know she said it because she loves me and she's coming from a protective mother. And I looked at her and I said, I'm not doing this to show off. Like, I need to do this. I can't imagine myself doing it. Like, if I die, I'm going to regret not doing this. So I don't know if any of you could relate to that, but I'm going to read some comments here. So Helena, what's amazing is sometimes we presuppose a friend or friends are judging us, but we could be completely wrong. We might actually be inspiring them without even realizing. Yeah, exactly. So I was going to get to my other part of my story. So my mom asked that question. I told her, no, I need to do this. I can't describe it. So I was in Philippines, which is where my parents are from, in February. And then my mom took me aside and she said, hey, like, I always knew I deserved better and that I deserve better in my life. I didn't know how to do it, and you're finishing my dreams for me. And I was just like crying, and my mom was crying. And so, Helena, so I say that because those people that may have those backhanded comments, like, can turn around and you could inspire them. And that was with my own mom. And it's actually amazing. This past week alone, I've had 3 people in my personal life. Like a high school friend, a college friend, my friend's husband, who actually went up to me and was like, hey, can you like help support me, or can I get advice from you? And they've never like commented or liked on any of my posts, but they came to me because I was being consistently visible online. So I hope that inspires you, and that's why I'm sharing it. So Grace, yeah, my mom and boyfriend were like that too. I always wanted to cry with exasperation, but now they finally get it. Yeah, so keep going. And I swore to myself I would never do that to my own family. Like, I don't want to cut them off, but you just never know if you just keep going who you're going to be inspiring, including your own family or even your partner as well. So what is your why? That is a picture of me and my grandma. She's so adorable, isn't she? So who's your why? I want to know, and I'll explain why this is really important, that, who is your why? If you could type it in the chat box. I want to know why you're doing this. My mom, Grace, my children. Who else is your why? Brittany, my nieces and nephews. Kyra, my mom. Monique, my grandparents. So I wanted to ask, what is your why? Because this shit's fucking hard. Like, right, Diana, my why is my husband and our family. Thank you for sharing that. And I don't have kids yet, but one day I hope to be home to raise them. Denisha, my hubby, and children. So the reason why I wanted to ask, what is your why, is because shit gets hard, right? We make mistakes, we make failures, we get judged. But when we remember, and I have this, like this guy, my great-grandfather, of the sacrifices they make, then it's like, I have to do it. There's no excuses. Like, I am not going to let my bullshit excuses and my ego get in the way from going after my dreams, because too many people sacrifice so much. So I could be here doing this webinar with all of you, right? So getting unstuck from your ego and bullshit excuses and continuing to keep going, because there's people like my amazing grandma in this picture who sacrificed so much. Grace, yes. So I'm going to feel like it's going to be church, like, yeah, like, can I get an amen, girls? I feel like I'm at church right now, even though I'm just like talking to myself. Amen. Okay, awesome, Helena. Thank you, Grace. Okay, so resources. So finding books and audibles, and it's just being mindful. Diana, I know you're raising your hand. So I want to know, like, are you more visual or do you like listening? So I do audibles to listen in the background, but I realize I don't retain enough information. I'm better at reading things to retain it. So I want to know what is better for you to learn things. So Kayla's both. Awesome. Brittany's visual, Diana's visual, Denisha visible. Okay. And it's really important to know what works best for you. So I'm also like kinesthetic learner. Like, I need to write things like pen to paper. So I have a journal and I take notes. So it's just better for me to retain it, even though like my notes on this book is really messy. Awesome. Second is find podcasts and YouTube videos. Do you like listening or do you like watching? So do you like watching a video or do you like listening to it in the background? I'm just curious. And also, I want to learn listening. I want to learn from all of you, like, who do you listen to? What podcasts or YouTube videos do you watch? If you could type it in the chat box, not only so other people could learn, so I could learn as well. Like, who do you like listening to? Lori Harder. I don't even know who that is. Who is that, Helena? Who else do you listen to, ladies, so that we could help each other? Ask Angels by Melanie Beckler. Thank you for sharing that, Grace. Anyone else? Like, any other? And also, what books do you recommend too? I should have asked that in the previous slide, but any favorite books that you guys have so that we could share from one another. Hello, she lives in Venice Beach and is a mindset coach and empowering voice for women. Awesome. Brittany, Tony Robbins, Lisa Nichols. Oh, You're a Badass from Jensen Sarah. One of my favorite books. I have that. Look, I have that book right here. I have You're a Badass. That is a great book. And her Audible is amazing because she just cusses up a storm just like me. Love Gary V. Grace, motivational videos that pop up randomly. Monique, Sir Richard Branson, Mark Cuban, videos in background. Gary V is so hilarious. Yeah, You're a Badass is a great book. It's also very easy read. So if that is what the universe is telling us to just talk about, then I suggest that to all of you. Okay, so resources, like I said, find books and audibles, find podcasts and YouTube videos, or interview and hire an expert. I'm going to a therapist later this week. So I want to know, what resources are you going to use? Because you cannot do this by yourself. That is the biggest lesson I learned. But what resources can you use? Type it in the chat box so that I could hold all of you accountable. I'm curious. Like, are you going to listen to books? Are you going to listen to audibles? Are you going to talk to people? Kayla, I definitely want to find some create podcasts to be consistent with. Awesome. Coach and books. Awesome, Grace. Creative. Okay. Find some creative podcasts to be consistent. Okay. Brittany, my life coach. You, books, motivational videos. I'm a partner. Thank you for letting me be part of your journey, Brittany. Diana, all of the above. Diana, oh, sorry, there's two Dianas, Diana Coach, podcasts and books. Books, YouTube videos, definitely need to get some new reading material. I have like 5 books on the way from Amazon as we speak. Okay, so I'm going to warn all of you. So Kimberly, seek out a mentor. Okay, how many of you like, okay, I'm going to warn all of you, even though there's all these resources, but I'm curious to know, how many of you are self-help junkies? Like, before I started my business, I used to be one of those people that went to all the webinar, like all the events, read all the books, right? And I got a high. No, not from drugs, but from self-help training. I got a high. I was like, oh my God, I feel so good. Like I went to the Tony Robbins event, or I would go to these free events and read these books. Like, hell yeah, I feel so good. And then I come back home and I'm in front of my desk and I do nothing. Like I took no action. I just felt good at the book, or I felt good at the event, but I did nothing. How many of you have been in the situation? Yes, exactly. Okay. I love how interactive all of you are and saying guilty, guilty. So this is just why it's really important for me to all of you that you guys are going to take action. Like so when my friends come up to me, my old high school or friends that I know from the past, like, oh, so like, are you an inspirational or motivational speaker? I'm like, that really offends me, because I'm like, no, I'm not here to make people feel good. I'm here so that people could take actions to create results. So I want to make sure all of you are going to create action. So at the end, I'm just going to make sure I chat up all of you that there's an action you're taking away from this webinar. I did not come here to make you feel good. That is just a side effect. But if you feel good, that's great. Just don't tell your husband or partner that another woman made you feel good. But I'm here to make sure that you're creating action into your life. Brittany, yeah, okay. So resources. So Lewis Howes is someone I listen to, and Gary Vee. I listen to both of them when I'm working out, because obviously I can't read a book. Mindset books, like I said, You Are a Badass. And this book is actually signed by Jen Sincero. How cool is that? Now Is Your Chance by Nick Pigeon. She is my business coach. The Alchemist. Kayla, You're a Badass at Making Money is Great Too. Yes, and I recommended this to you, right, Kayla? I believe. So, Grace, Now Is Your Chance. Yeah, I gave that to Grace. I give Now Is Your Chance to all my clients. But before I continue on, I'm just curious, how many of you, and be honest, like have a money mindset block? I want to just pause a little and talk about that, because I know Kayla talked about You're a Badass at Making Money. Brittany, mindset block, yes. Anyone else that wants to open up and say this? The reason why I bring this up, because when it comes to building a business or even asking for a raise or changing a job, Denisha, yes, money mindset actually does show up. And so I want to kind of switch this for all of you. So rather than focusing on what we owe, right, like, oh shit, the bill is due on the 1st. I have a cell phone bill like due on the 15th, and I have this. Like, rather than focusing on what is due and what's paid, focus on what you can create. Like, I tell this to my clients who are asking for raises at their current jobs. Like, focus on what could happen if you were to ask for that money. Like, if you're asked to ask, like, hey, I've done A, B, and C. I've been able to increase these profits. I was able to increase this clientele. Like, this is why I deserve a 10K raise or a 15K raise. And when you focus on what you could create, then you're not so much focused on the limited mindset. So I want to mention that in terms of for those that are working on their careers. And the worst case scenario that could happen when you're asking for a raise is that you still have a job. I know a lot of you have jobs. So that means you could find for another job, right? And I'm going to share a personal story, by the way. And in terms of those that have a business and with clients, rather than focusing on like, I could mention everything like, shit, I have MailChimp that's due. I have a ClickFunnels that's due. I need to pay for my coach. I have to buy this other thing when it comes to scheduling. Like, you're listing everything you need for your business and all the bills. Rather, I mean, mind you, I do have a beautiful spreadsheet, and my boyfriend's in finance, so it's all laid out on Excel. Like, and I know what I need to owe. Instead of focusing on that, focus on what possible clients and the money that you can get. And so I'm going to share a personal story where actually so I was working at my dream job, right, for 3 months, and it's a government job here in Pasadena. I worked for Pasadena City College as a fundraiser. My dream job. My former boss is my next door neighbor. We're still good friends, and I had to apply. And so it was the day right before my birthday. And then 2 weeks later, I got this letter like, thank you for applying, but you didn't get the job. I'm like, I was upset. I was like rejected. I was laying on this floor, like crying. And I was like, fuck, like, how am I supposed to make money? I have all this shit I need to pay. And at that time, I was 20K in debt into my business. And then I realized, wait, I have my business. Like, I could focus on my business. So I had to change my mindset of what was negative to what I can create if I were given the right steps and strategies. And so that's what I focused on. And that month, I hit my first 5-digit month. So I just want to emphasize, rather than focusing on what is due and what's negative, focus on what you can create. So then you can create that. Because if you keep thinking about the limited mindset, that's going to affect it for you. So I hope that resonates with some of you. But Grace, so relatable. I'm glad that was relatable to you. So focus on what you can create rather than what's lacking or what's limited for you. So The Alchemist is my favorite book. 4 Agreements is amazing. Money. So I talked about money right now, but these are my 3 books that I like reading. I Will Teach You to Be Rich. He's funny. His name's Ramit Sethi. He's an entrepreneur, but he teaches people how to just budget. And I read that book as well as A Total Money Makeover. I was 30K in debt. Which book are you reading right now, Brittany? I'm just curious. Yes, I need to do this, reading that now. Which one? I'd love to know what you're reading. So I'm reading I Will Teach You to Be Rich and The Total Money Makeover. Yeah, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. It's really funny. And it's not like, hey, make sure you stop drinking coffee, but he's just realistic. Like, if there's something you love, like designer handbags, that's fine. But focus on that and then cut off your money from anything else. So I love that he talks about it. But anyways, I was 30K in debt 2 years ago from undergrad. And I use those 2 books to just kind of help me. And Dave Ramsey actually has a podcast. So every morning I would listen to stories of how people got out of debt. And that helped me get 30K in debt in 6 months. And actually how I did it was, that was my first time making 6 digits in my career. This is not even my business. I'm talking about my job. Because I was focused on asking for a raise and talking about how I deserved it, like 3 points of how I was able to do things into the organization. And I was able to get 2 raises. Actually, I ended up making 38K more that I was talking about. The Millionaire Next Door is a really great money mindset. And I didn't even put this, but talked about it earlier. You're a badass at making money is good in mindset. So just know it's not just strategic in terms of, okay, I need to save X amount, but it's also mindset and how you feel about money, like your relationship with it. I know it's really weird, but it's like, think about it, like, this is what my mindset coach told us to do, and Helena will laugh. He made us pulled up like this is a real $100 bill, just so you know, and just see this, because I know we see spreadsheets, but just know this is not just like, fuck, I don't have it, but this, like, if one of your parents or your kids were in the hospital, could help save their life. So see the positive in it always. Communication. So I'm known as being an assertiveness coach. And the reason why a lot of my clients learn how to get paying clients, because it's how to talk to them. So these are great conversations on resolving conflicts at work and boundaries. And I'm just curious, how many of you guys have issues when it comes to boundaries and saying no to people? If this is a yes for you, just say yes. Okay, I see your hand. Kayla. Would you like me to teach you a script on how to say no without saying the word no? It is my favorite script that I teach people. If it is, I will teach you guys how to say no without using the word no. Okay, Diane, yes, yes, okay. So I used to have issues with, Grace, yes, please. I used to have issues saying no to people, and it's just, okay, here's the thing. You know when people invite you out and you just really don't feel like it, right? Like, I would just rather be watching Netflix or sleeping because I'm just so fucking tired. I don't want to go out. Helena, yes. So first off, before I give you the script, just know that you're doing a disservice if you go out and you don't want to be there. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck, I don't want to go out on Friday night. I'm so tired. I've had a long week. You're doing a disservice, because what ends up happening is you show up And everybody knows your energy, right? Like, oh, you just want to be here. Nobody wants to be around you. So do yourself and your friend or your family member a favor and don't go then. And so this is the script I do. I'm like, thank you for inviting me. So write it down, ladies. Thank you for inviting me while at the same time I can't. And when it comes to all of these scripts, just know it's not just the word-to-word script. It's also your tone of it, right? So if you say something like, oh, thanks for inviting me, but I can't, you're not standing your ground. Like, make sure it's an assertive tone, because communication's 80% nonverbal and 10% verbal. So saying, thank you for inviting me while at the same time I can't. You don't, I mean, as women, I say this all the time, even for me, I have to catch myself. You don't have to explain to the other person why you don't want to go. Like, thank you, but I'm going to go sleep instead. Just say thank you for inviting me while at the same time I can't. And I love always using the word thank you, because it's a compliment and you're just letting them know I can't. And that's it. So make sure you're committed to using that resource. So my kick-ass present for all of you, I want to give back. I want to make sure you're continuing to create action in your life. So I will offer, like, doing a 30-minute call and creating a strategy for your business or your life or your job. So that is the link. So make sure, like, I just want to be able to give back and continue this momentum. It's really important, like I said, for me, that all of you are taking action beyond this. This is not just, I didn't do the challenge just to make you all feel good, be like, yes, I'm getting shit done, but continuing to get shit done beyond this. So make sure to click on the link there so that I could do a 30-minute call so we could strategize. This person took action after one session, and this happens more specifically in the session, but after one session with this person, and we didn't even start working together, she was able to make $2,420 this month. So that was after one session. She got her first 2 paying clients, which was awesome. So I want to know at least 2 action items you're going to do for 2018, and I need you to put the number in the chat box. So either first, are you going to create your specific goals for 2018 and 2020? 2, are you going to create and implement your morning routine? So let me know if that is it for you. 3, are you going to find a journal to write in during the evening? 4, are you going to find one person you will talk to that has a goal you've already accomplished? 5, are you going to listen to a podcast or YouTube video? 6, take advantage of the Kick-Ass Strategy session. Or, oh, sorry, hold on. Or I'm going to put 7, I'm going to put 7 in there, but 7's all of the above because you're just like kick-ass and you just want to do it. So I'm holding you accountable. I want to see numbers. Which one are you going to commit to? Are you going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7? And 7 is all of it. Or just put all. Kayla, I see 1 and 3. Awesome. Tanisha, all. Okay, awesome. And just so you know, like I said, I'm going to warn all of you, I am going to message each and every single one of you, making sure you are creating action. Grace, 1 and 5. Diana Martinez, you're going to do number 2. Awesome. What else, ladies? Like I said, I want to make sure you are creating action towards your life. Diana, 3 to 5. Yes. Amazing. Okay. So I want to make sure I can answer any questions. So if you have questions, type it in the chat box. Because I want to be able to be here and serve you. And if not, I want to answer this question. This question was actually from the first webinar, and it was such a good question. So how do you deal with imposter syndrome? And I'm curious, does anyone have that feeling where you've had the imposter syndrome? Felicia, hoping to do all. Okay, awesome. Helena, this came up for me. Grace, yes, always. Brittany, yes. Anyone else that has dealt with the imposter syndrome? I'm just curious. Brittany, yes. Okay, Felicia, you said 2, 3, and 5 you're going to do. Awesome. I'm so glad you are. So with the imposter syndrome, how I've dealt with it and how I teach my clients is, this is something that I actually did when I was in the South Africa retreat, is I want to know 3 reasons why you're an expert in your field. Because at the end of the day, you have to give realistic. So if you could write down, ladies, give me 3 reasons why I should listen to you. Give me 3 reasons why you're an expert. Give me 3 reasons why you should get a raise. Give me 3 reasons why you should make X amount at your job. And that will help you with imposter syndrome. So let me give you an example. For me, 3 reasons why anyone should work with me as a business coach. After one session, I could teach my clients how to make their first or second paying client. Like it usually happens, and I've helped them figure out their target niche. Second, I work with clients in 14 different countries and 11 different states, teaching them how to be more assertive, whether it's in their career or in their business. And third, I have personally invested $30,000 in the past 10 months working on my business, where not only do I get results, but my clients also get results. And I'm very client-centered. Like, I always want the best for them. Okay, Helena, thank you for starting to type. So if you ladies could type down your 3, and I want you to know you are not bragging, because what you should do, so let me read this stuff. But I want to emphasize, you're not bragging. You're actually doing a disservice when you are not telling your employer, when you are not telling your clients what you've done and what you could provide to them. So for those that work for a business or work for someone, just know your bosses are super busy. So when you have that conversation of getting more responsibility or getting a raise or getting the next job title, you're reminding them of your value. So it's not bragging, but you're reminding them. And I hope that resonates with some of you. Let me read some of this. So Helena, you put, I have credentials and have done training and been studying to further myself for years. What credentials, Helena, and how many years? That just helps make it more in sync as well. I have a book all about this, and I have spoken internationally on body image and female empowerment, and my clients have transformation. And you already know this. I've told you, Helen, too, like putting all those media outlets that have been able to help you. Brittany, I know all about ecology. I know the San Gabriel Mountains very well. I'm wilderness certified and have a huge passion for nature. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Grace, I've read more than 200 clients globally. How many years? I want to know specifically. By the way, if you guys put down like your top 3, like the top 3 reasons why you're an expert in this field, I will literally coach you right now, which is what I'm doing right now, and help you with your messaging when you're talking to other people, like possible clients or even to your boss about asking for a raise. So type down your 3 because I want to be able to serve you right now. I'm basically giving free coaching. Grace, I've read for more than 200 clients globally. My clients always resonated with the relevant reading and healing sessions, and they did the work to break through. Grace, I would also put, how many years have you've done it for 2 years, right? How many years have you been able to get 200 clients? And also, like I did in this webinar, list down the countries that you have served. That just makes it more powerful. Helena, I am an advanced EFT and matrix re-imprinting practitioner. I went the path of self-love school. I didn't know there was a self-love school. Perfect. Okay. Great. 200 clients in 4 years. 4 years. Oh, okay. So how amazing did that feel to write that down, that you have served 200 clients in 4 years? Diana Blankert, I am a creative problem solver. I have continued my education past my master's degree. I have successfully turned around an organization that was on the brink of closing 20K in debt to attain K surplus. So Diana, so I know there's 2 Diana. So Diana Blankert, what's your goal? Your goal is to get a raise, right? Or raise and then try to find a new job. Because if that is the case, like those are such amazing points. Change positions. Those are amazing points. So something I want to emphasize too is for people that are in the job or in the business, like I said, continue writing down, ladies, like your top 3 things. If you can't think of it, we could think of it together if you want to do a strategy session. But Diana, you could use this to your advantage, especially I have successfully turned around an organization that was on the brink of closing 20K in debt to 10K surplus in 3 years. That needs to be it. And just so you know, when you're all making the case, whether it is to your employer, to possible clients, the more numbers, the better. Because like I said, you're not just there. People want to know the results that you're going to bring them, right? And like I said, the feeling is a side effect of it. So make sure you put that. And sorry, I'm reading through the messages. Felicia, I have been in love with photography since I was young, always taking so many pictures. Felicia, thank you so much for sharing that. And when you talk about that, like you're in love with photography since I was young, I would even put like like cute little stories of, I used to take pictures, like, you know, what was it? The disposable cameras, right? Like visualize it when you could explain from the heart visually. Like I remember playing with, you know, those cameras that were old or whatever, like that just helps. Grace, so good because of you. I kept reminding myself of my worth. Yes. Yes, it's so good to do. Oh, so sorry, the brag sheet. So have an ongoing brag sheet. No, I know it's really bad to say because I just told all of you not to brag, but have an ongoing brag sheet of what you've been able to accomplish, whether it is your job to your employer or to your business. And have numbers, and it will just help you feel good, because I know as women, we like write a list of all the things we're going to do and we check it off, but you also have to acknowledge like, oh, right, like I got this company 10K out of debt and I got a 20K surplus. That will not only, one, make you feel good, but two, it helps you with messaging to help other people and remind them, right? Felicia will do nearly anything to get a perfect shot. I live to see people happy. Awesome. Polaroids. Yeah, thank you. I'm just like so old school. I completely forgot what it is. And so if you're still trying to figure out like exactly what your messaging is and how you could attract not only like possible clients, but need to like just make sure I want to be able to give back, but to do like a free 30-minute call with me, and we could talk about this more in detail, because I also understand it is personal. So if you don't want to go into detail of exactly what that is, I completely understand, and we could do that one-on-one. So don't forget, like I said, the strategy session. And I want to go back to what's your why? Why do you want to do this? And that is my dad and my grandma, but it is for my family. Like, just remember what your why is. And I want to end it with this quote. So mirror, mirror on the wall, I always get up after I fall. And whether I run, walk, or have to crawl, I'll always set my goals and achieve them all. So I'm curious who resonates with that quote. If this is a yes for you, say a hell yes. Helena is raising her hand. Grace loves this quote. Diana Blankard is raising her hand. Thank you, ladies. Hell yes. Me, hell yes. And so I say that is because just in life, we're just going to be learning from lessons and to learn and grow from it. And it's there to just make us better. So don't think of it as a mistake. It's only a mistake if you don't learn from it, and you are going to fail forward. But I just want to say thank you so much for your time, not for me, but for showing up for yourself. And like I said, I'm going to hold all of you accountable to make sure you're creating action into your life. But if there's anything you want to tell the other girls, like saying thank you, just be sure to do that right now in this chat box. Or actually, if you could even say it into the Facebook group, because I know a lot of you are being vulnerable here. And I just want to appreciate that, not just here in this chat, but also in this challenge. But it's not going to stop. You have to continue to keep getting shit done. It's so possible for all of you. And I see Felicia saying, hell yes. Kayla, yay, thanks, girl. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for showing up. This is being recorded, so don't worry. You'll reflect back. I'll send an email on it. I'm going to message all of you, making sure you're hitting up all your goals. And have a wonderful night. Be sure to write on the Fierce Jen Tribe, and let me just put, if you want to do a free 30-minute call with me, just click on that link, the Kick-Ass Strategy Session. Thanks, Grace. Thanks, Brittany. All right, thank you, ladies. Have a great evening, and go back to reality, and make sure you're creating action. Like, get shit done. Did not come here to make you feel good. I came here so you could get shit done. Bye, ladies.